Rating Podcast. This is episode 22, I believe. Right? Yeah. So, last week, I should say, I wasn't able to do the podcast episode because I personally had something going on with me. I had stuff going on. I had to do something, so I wasn't able to do a podcast episode. So, yeah, today is a new podcast episode because let's go! Podcast is awesome, anyways. Uh, this is a podcast based around stories, movies, shows, games, basically the general like geeky stuff. Just so for me can kind of nerd out and just talk about whatever. Once again, I don't really have anyone with me today, so it's going to be just me. Uh, I don't know. I think Beans might be busy, so she wouldn't be able to make it. I asked a few people. They weren't able to make it because it was last minute. I thought that Beans would be able to join. I guess not. But anyways, how are we all doing today? Everyone doing good? I hope so. Anyways, something I really want to talk about is like burnout and like how to deal with it. Now, a huge thing for something like artists have to deal with, or like music people, whoever, pretty much. A lot of people always have to strive into something like burnout. And for me, uh, drawing is something that I really have trouble with whenever I have burnout. It can take me a very long time to get into drawing. And I am currently getting back into drawing now. It's been like a few bumps since I last drew something, which does suck because, hey, I'm actually pretty good at drawing. I've been drawing for quite a long time, if I'm not going to be, if I'm going to be honest. It's something that I really, really enjoy as a hobby, and I really like it. Drawing is very important to me. It's gotten me to get interested in a lot of other things. And yeah, I really like art, but sometimes I would just have a burnout where I can't really think of what to draw, or like I don't know what to do, or I just don't feel like it. For a pretty long time, I would say. And sometimes it's alright. Sometimes it's fine to just chill out and not do anything. But sometimes it just spends way too long, so that I want to get back into it. 'Cause I feel like it's wasting some of my skills because I am generally pretty decent at drawing, I would say. Like, I'm not just saying that to like stroke my own ego, because hey, I like to do that a lot anyways. But yeah, being I'm being genuinely honest. I think my drawing skills are really, really good. I've been working on them since I was like what 13? That's like 6 years worth. Like that's when I first got serious about it. I didn't really get that big into it until then. I would always draw every now and then, but that's pretty much it, right? And a big issue is that sometimes I get burnout. Like one time, I think told the story on my channel some one time before. Uh, I was drawing Skarmory, right? And I felt like it was absolutely garbage, right? It was a really, really, really bad drawing of it. I did not like it at all. I thought it was really bad, and I didn't really enjoy how it ended up being. I felt like it was just very bad. It wasn't worth finishing. I didn't feel like it was really worth doing it, and it got made me like not want to draw for a while. And that can pretty much last for a very long time. And honestly, I found it the best way to like get out of a burnout is just keep going at it. Like, don't give up, just keep drawing and trying your best. Don't let anything really get to you too hard, because will be times where, hey, you will make something that you're not really proud of and aren't too happy with. Lately, I've been pretty happy with what I've been doing because for me, I take quite a long time with drawing and I don't really finish anything until I'm pretty much satisfied with how it comes out. Every now and then I will just get something I'm not happy about and I will just stop it because I don't see like me trying to fix it up right. I feel like that I just had a bad overall setup for it. I didn't have everything angled out from the beginning. Usually, whenever I draw, I always try to get an angle. You can kind of see, like, with my current drawing. Let me see if I can find it real quickly. Let me get to Twitter real quick. There we go. Uh, there we go. Let's go display. Is that good? There we go. Yeah. Let me move my guy. And then let me move my guy. There we go. So I'm currently drawing right now my another VTuber Tatsuya, right? She's like a bad YouTuber or VTuber. I highly recommend you watch her. She's very entertaining. I really like her. Very big props. So you can kind of see like with this, it started off with just like a little blob, right? Like a little hair in the center. This was all just a little blob there, right? It wasn't huge, it wasn't anything like what was made. Even now, it's still kind of like beta version, right? I'm still planning to do a little bit of sketching and a little bit more detail into it. And yeah, you can. I spend quite a bit of time with the eyes, just trying to get all the details out. Whenever I start out, I always go for simple lines first. I don't try to do anything too big yet, because you never want to sort of anything too big whenever you do drawing, right? You just want to get it in there. You want to like see where you want to place everything, and then I put into details because I don't feel like it's a good idea to like full on color it, draw it, everything until you have what you're happy with. Sometimes you'll be happy with it, and then you will notice some things. Like for now, I actually noticed like the little bit of eyelashes here are kind of off here, so I might end up fixing this eyelash area, right? And that's kind of like how you can start like growing it out a bit, just working on it without putting too much into it before it's already too late, right? You want to like keep it very simple to begin with. You never want to like have everything too huge. And that's kind of like how I where I stand against keep trying to just do what you're doing best, right? Don't spend too long into it, just work on everything. Just work on it. And for me, I think the best way with burnout is just kind of forcing myself into doing it. It doesn't work for everyone. Sometimes you do need a little break. Sometimes it is best to just like sit down and just relax for a little while. Don't spend too much of your time because sometimes you can just burn out into just losing the interest and the passion altogether if you just force yourself into it. For me, it works really well to force myself into it and actually work on it because I feel like that's a lot of things that I have to do because I feel like a lot of the times there will be ways where I will um just get lazy-ish and just not want to do it and just get distracted by other things even though it's probably more important that I do something like that over just hey going on a video game or doing something like watching a movie. Now for me I kind of like to watch movies and stuff because I like to talk about it in different like aspects of in part of the podcast, I always talk about a whole bunch of different like shows and movies I love and I watch. And yeah, I think those are really, really good. And I think that's a really great way to learn about things. And I highly, highly recommend everyone to not necessarily push them into it if you're not feeling like you're doing it right or like you don't have it's not doing it. Try taking a break. Try doing it in a different style. Like let's say for art, right? And this could be for anything, right? But I'm just going to say for art for now. Maybe you don't want to do like drawing, right? Maybe you want to do like something like painting, or you want to use markers, or you want to try a different style. I highly recommend it. Sometimes to get back into something, you really just have to like look for a different approach to it, right? And kind of just like seeing, hey, this could work really well, and I really like this style. Why don't I do it? Why don't I just work on something else? Now, for me, I'm very, very happy with what I am doing. I think it's really good for me for what I'm doing. I like what I'm doing so far, so I don't really have a problem. So that's one thing for me. At least I don't have anything really on my mind too much when I'm doing it. Granted, everyone has their own way of coping or like having ways to get better or just enjoying yourself a lot more. And yeah, I think it is very, very important to realize just because I'm giving you this advice doesn't mean this is advice that you have to follow. It's just advice. You don't have to like really push yourself into it. Sometimes just pushing yourself to something really, really helps. Some people work better with pressure, some people work with off pressure, and those are both really, really fair to have. For me, um, it's kind of both. Like, if I'm pressured, I'll kind of like uh be more inclined to do something. Like, for example, if I'm going to be doing something with someone, let's say like a stream, I will most likely be more motivated into doing it than if I were just to do a stream by myself. Because usually my streams by myself are usually more late for the most part. Sometimes I'll push it off until a later date time, or I'll do it somewhere else, or you know what? I'll just not do it all together because sometimes I just goes like I don't really feel like it. But when I'm doing something with someone, I'm like, well, I kind of have to do it now, and yeah, that's kind of like how I feel sometimes. And I feel like it might not be the best mindset to have for me because I feel like hey, I should try to work a little bit more. But I am doing a little bit more. I'm working on different kind of like videos, not just like uh on YouTube. I usually just talk about a separate Pokemon and talk about like kind of like any kind of huge big things about them, like any weaknesses, any strengths about them, blah blah blah, their movesets, abilities, stats, pretty much that stuff. And I tried a few different things like tier list videos, or I would try with different things like let's say going through team recaps, right? I feel like that those are also really fun. Just going like, oh, this is what this team does and how it works, and just going over them. Or something I'm also trying to do is implement some specific element of the game. For example, one of my videos are coming up is that why doesn't Trick Room work in competitive singles that but it works in competitive doubles. I feel like having another approach to things will also really motivate you to do things. So, because I'm having fun changing out my content a bit. I don't feel like me just always talking about one specific Pokemon will always be something fun for me. I think going up and mixing some stuff up, as long as they're Pokemon, I would pretty much do it. As long as like more competitive based, right? Or battling at least. Battling slash competitive is more like what I do. So like stuff like if I were a gym leader, I would use this team works better for me if I were to do something like, oh, let's say these are my top five favorite Pokemon, and did you know that Drafrig is a palindrome or something like that? Like random facts. I do think those channels work really well, and I do like some of them. It just doesn't necessarily work for me necessarily, just because I like to talk more about stats, I guess, and just like talk about what's the best puzzle thing. Because for me, I love talking about different aspects of games and talking about like what is the most optimal way of beating a game, or what's the most optimal way to win, that sort of stuff. It's not huge by any means, but it is just for fun. It is just for fun. I don't know fully if the YouTube channel will really pull off. Hopefully it starts getting big. It was starting to get a lot of really good views and really good watch time and everything and subscribers, but then sometime in January, YouTube really screwed over my channel. Like I started getting like very low views for my channel. It very recently started to get kind of back to where it usually was, right? And I'm starting to get a little bit more views now. And that's fine. I am a little bit upset about what are the things that I wasn't able to do. Like I feel because as it was then, how it was growing, I would have been like at 1,000 subs by now, but now I'm not. So that sucks. I kind of am upset about that. I'm kind of just sad about that because I was really excited for 1,000 subscribers, but no, January really had to screw me over. Like I should have been like in. I think I said like in Social Blade when I was growing it. I would have been in 1,000 in like February or whatever. It's like April now, and I'm still at like uh 758, which sucks. I'm really upset about that. But hey, I'm just gonna have to strive through it and just keep posting what I'm doing. At least now my channel is starting to grow back up again and isn't just, hey, screw you, you don't get anything at all. Now I get to kind of finally grow my channel back up. And another thing is that a really huge thing that really made me mad was I made a video on Chen Pao getting banned, and that video should have been had a lot of views because usually whenever a Pokemon get banned, they get more views. Even looking into like some of my banned Pokemon, let's see. Let me just see all of them, right? Uh, Scarlet and Violet Pokemon get banned. Fluttermane and what's his name? Houndstone when it got banned. Pretty much like 140,000 views. When Palafin and the Iron Bundles got banned, it was like almost uh 1,900. When Chiyu, Annihilate, and Cyclozar got banned, it was like 800. But Chen Pao got like 80 views, and I got some kind of really stupid adult was like an adult video claim or whatever. Like it was in Super Kids or whatever, which like really makes it so that your video don't get recommended and you get less views. So like, what the heck? It really screwed me over because there was nothing even in that video to start with. Like it was literally just me going over this why it got banned and going over like, hey, it got banned because it was voted for like 69% ban rate. Maybe they were thinking, oh, I said 69, but I wasn't even playing into it. The only thing I really said was nice, very nice. And that's it. Like, why was I getting strike not strike, but like uh what's it called? Adult protection or whatever, 18 plus, whatever, blah blah blah. Like that's so stupid because I didn't say anything and it just hurt my channel for no reason. Like that during that one area. Let me see if I can like find it. Where was it? Uh, during like where is it? Kind of through like the very start of March in a little way up to like from like shoot where was it uh from like the very start of like or like late January like was when I started, and it was so stupid because it kind of like where I was supposed to be, like it I wouldn't be really batting an eye if like, oh, one video gets like blasted, right, like it doesn't get anything good because that's like how YouTube is. Sometimes I would get bad videos, that's fine, but like there was like a spread of them, like a huge spread of them, like 5 in a row. Like that's not, it wasn't really like usual for my channel. Like it was very unusual, which it's fine if you know, if like whatever, but like why was it like that? Like that my videos weren't any like anything uh different from it. Obviously now they got like more views because they kind of fixed it for the most part. Most of the videos got more views, but there's still some that got just messed over because oh, YouTube decided to just hate me for that one day. Which sucks because, dude, it was growing out to be really good, actually. Like, it was actually a pretty good viewership. But no. No, which kind of made me like a little bit upset and kind of like made me like not want to make videos for like maybe like a few days. But I had to like okay, whatever. Uh, just to go back onto it and just keep grinding because I'm not going to let a freaking bad week stop me. Like they at least now I'm getting back to my usual area, right? And now I can finally work on what I was doing to begin with, and I'm happy about that. I'm really happy that hey, I can get back and start growing on my channel a lot more now. I wish I was at 1,000 subscribers now, cause hey, uh, I should have been there by now, cause that's how it is. Luckily now, let me show you. Let me close this. At least now I'm getting back to my usual viewer count. Let me get this here. Like, um, here's my channel by the way. Selfless promotion. Let's freaking go. Also, why is it like for my OBS it shows like my character or my profile being like all like black and everything, even though it's supposed to be green like Scyther, but yeah. It's a little bit distract. Oh, I think I see. Oh, you're right. Oh, because it's green. I'm so stupid. That's why. Okay, I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. I just realized it's like that because my freaking green screen is still on because I had what does it mean? Geometry still there. Oh well, I'm using the same one. But like you can see like I'm getting like 300 views, 100, 100, 300, 300, uh almost 300, uh 200, 200. So like now it's finally back to where it would usually get to, so I am happy about that. So overall, it's not a huge thing, but it is a bit annoying whenever I'm actually trying to work on something and they just screw me over like that. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thank you for watching. No, I'm joking. Anyways, yeah, I think like some another huge way is to just to get back into it is honestly watch some videos that you're passionate about. Like, for example, for my drawing, sometimes I would watch something like drawing certain characters in different anime styles. For example, like let's say Jotaro in different anime styles. I watched those kind of videos and it got me back into drawing and I'm like, oh hey, I want to start drawing more. I want to get back into stuff. I just want to keep going and going. I don't want to like stop. I think it's fun to like watched that kind of stuff and it helps me think more, you know? And yeah, it's more fun whenever you can look into something you're passionate about and maybe someone else talking about it or someone else doing it will spark a reaction of thinking, oh, hey, I want to go back into it. This looks fun. Let me try it. And then you try how they were doing it and you start having more fun because they've been doing it in different ways. Whereas if you were to do it in any lame or more not fun ways, you just wouldn't have fun with it at all. And yeah, for me, it's just fun to do, and it's a vibe. Honestly, just a vibe. And yeah, I highly recommend you try to push yourself, or maybe you just look into something else, or just look into what other people are doing with it. Try something new. Don't like just stop as it is. Do something about it. Don't just have fun. Just have fun with it. Don't don't try to like ruin your uh brain cells pretty much. Just yeah, that works. Don't ruin your brain cells. That's the best way I can say it. Just have fun for the most part. Don't let anything really hurt your ego, I would say. I don't know if ego is the right word, but honestly, try to do something, right? And yeah, that's pretty much what I can pretty much say. Going on to my next topic. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for Tears of the Kingdom. I really, really, really want to see or play Breath of the Wild 2. I think that game will be absolute amazing. I love Zelda games. Zelda games are one of my favorite games of all time. Like I really, really, really like Zelda. Like Zelda is one of my favorite of all time. I love it. I love it so much. We went from passion to a game that I absolutely love, and I'm all for it. I think it's a really, really good game with really good soundtrack. I think Zelda's always been good with music. I think it's very, very important that you play uh Breath of the Wild 2 because it's a really, really good game. And I cannot accept it enough because it's so freaking good. Like, I can't wait. I think it's going to be really good. Zelda games are usually always good. Like, usually always, always good. Like, there's not a single one I can really think of that was bad. Like, even the worst Zelda games were at least good. They were at least good. Like, let's say, like, Zelda 2. It wasn't horrible. At least it was good. It was fun. Like, it was different, yeah. But, like, it's also their second game, so they were trying new things out, right? And I don't think it's bad at all. I think it's pretty decent. I do think I know that it can be like very weird to get into because it's so much different, but like, who cares? Who cares? Like, sure, you might not be into it because it's a different game compared to the other Zelda games, but just because it's different doesn't mean it's bad at all. I think a lot of people kind of like to say like different is bad. Sometimes there's just so much different stuff into a game series that it will just not be that good. But considering it's the second game in a series, I think we can let it slide, you know? Like, obviously, like, I don't think that you should not be able to criticize it. I think it's stupid to not let people criticize stuff. I think people should have the right to criticize pretty much anything they want, and it should be good. And yeah, oh my gosh, dude, dude. So, my Discord, I thought someone sent a random, bad picture, quote unquote, but it was just a bottle with, pink, uh, liquids. So, like, I got Among Us trolled. Anyways, yeah. I just think it's more fun that way, just to just chill out and try out different things. But yeah, and sometimes that can work in games, like let's say Legend of Zelda 2. That actually works really well. Cause yeah, Zelda 2 was different, but it doesn't mean it's necessarily a bad game. It's just definitely something different. And I think people would like to try it a little bit different. I think you should try to sometimes branch out of your games. Like uh Breath of the Wild is very, very different from most Zelda games. And it's one of it's some of people's most favorite Zelda games, and is one of the Zelda games that everyone absolutely loves and absolutely can't get enough of, and absolutely just care so much about it. Like, they genuinely care so much about it, and I think it's absolutely fine. I love the fact that other people can just enjoy things, you know? And yeah, I think trying out new things, for example, games can work well. Because sometimes if you change stuff up, like let's say YouTube too, maybe your videos aren't doing too well because I don't know, maybe people aren't like really tired, is sometimes tired of it. Some people don't really want to watch it anymore. Some people want different content. And if you try out different content, maybe some people will like the new content and you might get even more people to join. But like, it is also important that you enjoy the content. Some people will just watch your videos because of your personality, and that's absolutely awesome. That's absolutely awesome where you can do pretty much anything. For example, Alpha Gold. I love Alpha Gold. It's one of my favorite channels actually. Cause it's literally just two guys just talking about whatever they want pretty much. And just have fun with the thing. Like they genuinely just have fun with it, and it's really, really funny whenever they do. And I love when they do it because hey, it's funny and it's fun to watch. And yeah, I like it. Highly recommend if you just want to see people acting stupid playing random games. Just absolutely watch them. I highly recommend it. They just play a whole bunch of random games, and that's kind of like how I found out some games. Like for example, FPS chess. I think FPS chess is absolutely amazing. It's one of my favorite games to stream with random people. For example, oh shoot, I should probably change my display. There we go. Anyways, it's one of my favorite games to play with random people that I just play on stream. Like whoever it is. Whether it be Aridas or it be Tori or Geometry, it's really, really, really fun just to play random games and be stupid. And I think after a goal does it really, really well. Because hey, it's literally just people being stupid. And sometimes that's all you really need to be good on YouTube. Like just being stupid and just having good personalities and be funny. Like, obviously, Alfred is really, really funny. Everyone loves Alfred, from what I heard. Like, everyone who watches him love him because he's just funny. He's literally the funny guy on the internet. That's like his whole thingy. And yeah, it works really well because he's funny. And he's good at writing scripts, and he's just really funny. And yeah. Uh, if there's anything else I would have to say about YouTube, is just try out different stuff. Don't try to branch out too differently sometimes. Sometimes it just works really well to like stick in one topic. For example, for me, it's Pokemon, and I do love Pokemon. So sometimes every now and then I'll do Yu-Gi-Oh! But usually people want to watch me for my Pokemon content. I would love to do more Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff, but like the thing is I'm more knowledgeable about Pokemon stuff because that's kind of like what I grew up on. Like Yu-Gi-Oh! I haven't really played it for like competitive reasons. I just played every now and then because I like the game. I'm just a fan of it, and I just play it every now and then. I know some stuff about it, but I am really less knowledgeable over Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I don't really play too much. Pokemon, I played almost all the time. Like, I play Pokemon so much, and I know what pretty much every Pokemon does. Except for maybe some of the newer ones, because I just haven't really used some of them. But yeah, I really just know what Pokemon is. So I highly recommend just sticking to what you're comfortable with. And if you make good enough videos, people will watch it. Like, obviously, you can't like just do like play Pokemon Fire Red with no commentary. You have to give up some of your personality. Like, sure, people will like watch you for like, oh, they watch you to just like, oh, where do I go? Oh, this is where I go. Okay, cool. And that's pretty much it. But like, you need to really just give out your personality. And that's something I've been trying to do more in my videos because I realized, sure, I'm kind of like talking about Pokemon, which works well because like, hey, it is at least like uh something knowledgeable of the game. Like I'm talking about topics that make sense. I'm talking about like things that actually do happen in the game and are something that people would find interesting. For example, just going over, oh, uh uh holding hands is very a niche move in competitive Gen 7 and U, because Charizard can use the normalized Z and get an Omni boost. Stuff like that is very interesting and doesn't really need a personality. But some of these videos, I feel like giving off my personality would really help. For example, something like I'm doing a Rampardos video or Archeops. I'm giving a little bit more emotion to them because that's something I want to talk about. Like, for example, why the heck does Archeops have Defeatus? It doesn't need Defeatus. So I'm kind of giving out more of this stuff. And I'm trying to do that in my tier list videos because I feel like I can give it more into my tier list videos because hey, they're more easier to do over than something like, oh, this Pokemon has blah 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 blah. I could give personality, and that's something I am trying to work on because I feel like I can do it. It's just easier for me to like try more and more and more into it, right? So that's something I'm working on. I think it's very important to like try out and give out your personality because overall, having a good personality really, really helps out. Like I will watch some streamers or YouTubers or any content creators just for their personality. I won't even care what they play. For example, after Gold, they will play some of the most stupidest games out there. But hey, at least they're really funny and they actually have good personalities. And I will watch something like them playing uh Super Mario Bros. Free multiple times over something like, oh, they're just chilling there and not talking and just playing Mario Bros. Free. And yeah, sometimes it is just impressive to watch someone being really, really good at a game and just doing things that are really cool. And that works too. Like if you're really good at a game, try out being a streamer for it. Try out being a content creator for it. There's not going to be too bad of a problem if you try it out. Just do it. If you need to, if you're like scared about it, hey, we have stuff like VTuber models or whatever. If you're too poor, like okay, that sounds bad. Like if you don't have money for a VTuber model or some kind of PNG or whatever, you can just you can just use something like a random PNG from something. I don't know, just try something out. Don't be too scared about anything. Just try it. Have fun. And yeah, it's most likely going to be very chill and you're just going to have fun with it for the most part. And yeah, that's something I highly, highly recommend. And yeah, I like it. I like just talking about random things, so I try to do it. And for the most part, as of now, it's working. I hope it works out for the end of time because I like just talking about random stupid stuff about Pokemon. For example, Onyx is freaking useless. I don't, I don't know, but like, yeah, Onyx is very useless and I gave out my personality more into there, or why I hate the rock type, because the rock type's horrible. Like, no, I hate the rock type so much. I really don't like the rock type. It's absolute garbage, right? And that stuff can people find very interesting. And some stuff that you might not think would blow up can grow. Like, for example, one of my highest videos on my channel is something I didn't think would blow up as much, which is why holding hands is actually used in competitive Pokemon. And that's something I would not expect at all to be on there. I would not expect it at all. Like, it's something that I'm like, why would that be there? But hey, it works really well apparently, and some people might find it interesting, and I'm happy that some people find it interesting, and hey, just try it out. Sometimes you don't even need uh you don't need a face cam, you don't need a model, you can just talk and it'll work. People watch pretty much anything. Like for the most part, you don't even have to be like they don't have to be good videos to blow up. There's some stuff where it's just like really bad and hey, they're still popular. They're still pulling up and everything. So yeah, overall, I highly recommend everyone to try something out and try whatever you're passionate about. Just try it, and yeah. With that being said, I think that's all I really want to talk about with the podcast, honestly. Like, I can't really think of anything else. So yeah, I think I'm going to be ending it here. Make sure to watch it if you're watching on YouTube, which I do upload every single time I do a podcast, to make sure to watching it live on Lord D Rating on Twitch. That's Lord underscore D underscore Radiant on Twitch. And I usually stream it live on Mondays or Sundays. You would have to see like either my Discord, which will be in the description most likely, or somewhere on my channel. And yeah, I highly, highly recommend everyone watch it at least once, please. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for watching, and we're gonna be rating someone, and I'll see you next time on Dragon Ball Z. So yeah, bye bye.